Hello there, Dr. Sheep here. Welcome back to our TGIF Talks, episode 100. Woo! Nobody clapped. All right. I'm joined by my co-host, Anonymous Phil.
Yeah, I'm here.
And our two co-hosts, Corona Kyle. And the long-awaited return, Will.
Hello.
All right. Roll the intro. Control tab. This one.
Wouldn't you like to get away?
It's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday.
And they're always glad you came.
These podcasts, at least for today anyways, are broken down into 4 parts. First we have how our weeks have been, followed by the news, followed by your comment, followed by a random 4th topic. Today's 4th topic has been brought to you by the one and only Kyle.
Oh, wow, you actually went with my idea. Okay.
Yes, of course. I didn't have any other ideas. We're talking about the lottery today for the 4th segment.
That's the only reason.
I never have ideas.
Well, it's
It
too
was a
late
good
to
idea.
think of another idea. It's like, oh, I guess this will work.
It was also a good idea, so. All right. So,
Epic Phil.
we'll get to Kyle later, but Will, when was the last time
Yeah.
you were on? How have you been? What have you done?
I have no idea how long it's been. It's been a long time. It's been pretty nice.
What?
I'll have to deal with all you guys.
What did we ever do to you?
Okay.
We broke his birdhouse.
Yeah.
That was you.
Yeah, that was you.
I took no part in that. I told you don't. You did it anyways.
You said don't. You said don't after it happened.
No, I said don't before. And then you did it
Anyway.
anyways. And I was like, well, I don't remember. Yeah, you did fix the birdhouse with the screw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything
Anyway.
else?
It should last another 10 years.
Yeah. So you come back.
Till I come back.
But
Yeah.
I haven't been doing much.
What's it like?
That was when we did the banana video.
Was it really?
Was that one? No, wait, no, that was one that was.
Was it?
Pretty sure it was when you guys were making your bed thing.
Oh, the bed frame!
Oh, we cut some 2x4s and that was it?
Yeah, when was that? When did you make the bed frame?
I don't even remember at this point. Sometime this spring.
No, I've just been working. That's all.
Working. What kind of freaking weird...
Wait, you have a job?
What?
You have a job?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he didn't know this.
Oh, where do you work at?
Auto recycling place.
Okay, I didn't know that. Oh, yes, I did know that part.
You recycle auto parts?
So they like take scrap vehicles, junkers, and then they tear the engine and stuff out, put them in the lot for a while. I go around and take off parts that people order or come in and want, and then after a while, if that vehicle's not getting much stuff taken off of it, it gets crushed.
Ah, fun.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need a battery specialist? Because you have one here.
No. I won't be there much longer because I can't when school starts. Their hours aren't right.
Ah.
Oh, they won't let you choose your hours?
No, I can work whenever I want. It's just they're open 8 to 5 on Monday through Friday, so.
Oh, they're not open during the weekend?
No.
Oh.
Nobody's... Listen. If you're in the small business world, nobody's open on Saturday and Sunday. Only insane businesses are open on Saturday and Sunday.
I think Ernie's in Ceresco is, but I think their hours are like like till noon.
Seems to me like that's when you could get the most business, though, is on the weekends, because if you're open 8 to 5, people are at work.
Mhm.
Love how Doc casually calls out Menards in that statement. Only crazy businesses are open on the weekend.
Hey! We would make more money on frickin' Saturday than we would the rest of the week, but it was hell. The $3 was it was definitely worth getting the $3 extra per hour on weekends because no way you could pay me any less to do it.
Yeah.
Like I said, insane. Unless you're Walmart. I need Walmart on Saturdays. Oh.
I mean, we go on Sundays.
I mean, sometimes. I mean, yeah.
What do you mean?
I mean, okay,
This
the past
past
2
month
weeks
was
we've
going.
gone on Sundays. But if we hung out on Saturdays, we'd go on Saturdays.
Oh,
But your friends hang out with you on Saturdays, so.
yeah. Sorry, I tried to have a life outside this group.
I don't have a life outside this group. I don't have a life outside this group. And honestly, this isn't even much of a group anymore. It's just you and I. And
We're the best you got. How does that make you feel?
increasingly more depressed.
Wouldn't blame you.
Wouldn't
Oh,
blame
man.
me. Great.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
What's it like being able to drive legally by yourself?
Pretty nice.
Oh, wait, that happened? Damn,
Yeah.
I gotta start avoiding the road. What time are you on the roads?
Oh, geez. Okay, see how it is.
He's probably a better driver than you.
Yeah,
What? You say he's a better driver than me?
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh, really?
Well,
Wait,
maybe,
wait, how-
maybe next year he can come to Nevada with us, and we'll have him drive those curves.
Hey, I didn't crash once. I was just having some fun.
Doesn't prove anything.
What's wrong with having fun?
You were the only person having fun in those curves. The rest of us are wanting to die. I saw my life flash before my eyes when you said we were literally heading down this curve down the side of a mountain, and he just dozed off. He wasn't asleep. Just I don't know what happened. And we started drifting the other lane, and then we started to go towards the rumble bars, and I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Well, I was looking at the terrain.
I don't know.
You realize something else out there. That it's painful to have to drive.
But you wouldn't
Man.
let me.
No, I would not trust anyone else because if something happened to the car, I'd rather have it be me than one of you two. Because I would never forgive you.
Oh well. If you crashed my truck, I'd forgive you. I'd be like, oh well. Guess I get
Oh well. Oh well.
I get a new one. Thank God. Before this one falls apart on me.
Wait, you get a new one?
I'd get something.
Like-
Some sort of replacement for the $500 the insurance company will give me.
Wait, insurance just gives you money if you crash a vehicle?
Well, I mean, not intentionally.
Well, yeah, like
Damn, I'm just gonna go start crashing vehicles now. I work myself up to a Ferrari.
some business owners will like burn down their business for the insurance money. Like
See, now you have
what
to be
was
able to
it?
get away with that.
that one, the comic book guy from Big Bang Theory.
No, he said he didn't do it.
He said he didn't.
And then Leonard goes, "Yeah, because destroying your business for the insurance money is fraud."
Who hasn't committed fraud? Apparently nobody. All right. Moving on.
Fraud? What's that?
Moving on. Kyle, how have you been? Have you had any more nightmares?
I haven't been in hell, buddy. Been in hell.
It's summer
Oh yeah, I
vacation.
did have. Yeah, I did have a nightmare.
Oh, good, good.
Hello.
More thumbnail content.
Sure.
Let's see. Let's share. Okay.
Sure.
So I'm in the National Cathedral in DC,
hmm
and I'm just exploring it for the funsies.
Yeah.
And I wind
As
up
one does.
in. Shut up. I wind up in this like high class aristocratic area, but for some reason no one pays any attention to me
Because you're an
that I
Sure.
should be there.
As
No,
people
you
normally
should.
do.
You're white. Remember that.
And
You got away with that one.
find myself in this laboratory and I explore it, and it is a child experimentation facility.
Excellent.
And I look up
Oh,
and I look
fun.
at and I look at this.
I want to get a job there.
Keep in mind, this is all inside the cathedral. This is all inside that cathedral. I look into it and on the monitor, and this kid is just being. Think of psoriasis in a sense. That's what it kind of looked like, but spreading all across his body, and like he's disintegrating.
Ah.
Mm.
And
Oven project.
I left. Then for some reason, I decided to go back into the facility. The second time I go in, I get caught, and they take me to some interrogation room. And in that process, they somehow took a blood sample, ran a test on it, and they said, "You are the devil."
It's a very specific dreams.
Yeah.
I like how they had the devil's
Um,
blood sample already on file.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyways, it's not the first time I've had a dream where I was
explain
the
that.
devil. This is probably dream number 3 or 4 where I found out I was the devil.
I think it's all in your head. You spend too much time thinking about it, so it manifests itself in your dreams.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to be the devil.
Yeah, Doc, what would you do if you were the devil?
Make all the sinners.
You'd make all the sinners.
Make
What?
all the sinners dance. I don't know. I don't know what I would do.
You know, there's an interesting theory
Make them
that
eat each
the
other.
devil. There's this interesting theory that I have. Keep in mind, I am atheist. I don't believe in any organized religion.
I think that
But
I think you
I love
and
the
everyone else in here is the same way. I mean, similar.
But I do love the idea of like demons and like cryptids, stuff like that.
Bigfoot.
And there's this theory that the devil was the original creator of heaven and earth, and the being that Christians refer to as God is actually the usurper.
The what?
Huh?
The what?
The usurper.
I don't know who that is. I don't know what that is. Will over here is probably like, huh?
I'm using the verb to
I'm not paying
usurp
attention.
as a noun.
Well, it doesn't surprise me.
30 years.
The usurper is someone who rises
power.
up and takes power and takes control from the reigning monarch, ruler, whatever. So God is a usurper, takes the throne of heaven, and kicks what Christians
Think
refer
about
to as the devil.
the dictator. If someone overtook Hitler and became a new dictator, they would be the usurper.
Yeah.
I see.
To usurp power, to take power. So yeah.
Well, anyways, I don't know the tangents we get on in these first segments.
What about him?
What about?
What about him? What do you mean? What about him? You know exactly what I mean.
You asked, so
Well, I didn't think there would be a whole theology class involved in that answer. I thought he'd been like, oh, he's Ted from down the street. You know, it would be an easy answer. Not, well, if you look at the 5th century AD Qing dynasty in China, you'll learn that blah, 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 blah. What? No, I don't need the whole...
That's what it takes to learn about his day.
Apparently... Kyle, why is your life so complicated? Just do what the rest of us do.
Nothing.
Yeah,
My
pretty
life is a
much.
never-ending storm.
3 of us. There's 3 of us in this chat that just... And then there's yours.
Who?
I've also
What do you
been
mean, who?
watching a bunch of like gameplays.
Gameplay.
Not yours.
That hurts.
Well, who does? Wouldn't blame you.
Well,
Watch a lot of Jacksepticeye.
Jack
It's
is
a pretty good game. I enjoyed the Quarry. That was a good game. Has a good soundtrack.
I can't do RPGs. I can't do them.
The Quarry isn't an RPG.
What is... If it has a storyline, I can't do it.
It's a choose your own adventure.
That's even worse. I'll never finish it.
It doesn't
Isn't that
take that
every
long
video
to
game?
finish. It's like Until
Not with
Dawn.
Enoch.
What?
It's very similar to Until Dawn.
Hold on. No, the only
You call
choose
yourself
your
a
own
gamer.
story was the one with the girl that could reverse time.
Right?
Oh, and Doki Doki Literature Club. Those are the only 2 choose your own adventure things that are worth your time.
Not Minecraft story mode.
Not that garbage. There's a reason they made one game, started the second one, realized nobody played it. They started Minecraft World or whatever, Earth or whatever it was. No one ever played it
Dungeons.
because no one ever thought it came out of the beta. They never told anybody it came out of the beta. So, no one played it. And then now they're doing Minecraft Dungeons that's just microtransaction hell. So, welcome to the state of Minecraft, everybody. Just play Java. Tell everybody to screw off. That's literally what the Java community did. So the Bedrock community, they've had. Okay, we're getting to the. So the Bedrock community's had censorship in the fact that you say like anything phallic in the chat, you can get banned from Minecraft for life. Like even like single player mode, which is kind of absurd, but they can do it. And so they were going to add it to Java in 1.19.1. But the Java community, unlike the Bedrock community, who, if the Bedrock community says there's something wrong, the developers go like, Java community, which is a much smaller community, by the way, they say there's something wrong, like, hey, we don't want this ban thing in place. The developers go, oh, sorry, we'll find a different way. What? How does that work? How does 1% allowed to control the other 99%?
Look at America.
Yeah, but this is well, I mean, yes, Microsoft owns them, but Jeb's not American. Jeb's Scandinavian. He's supposed to be the good guy, the cupcakes.
Okay.
No one gets that joke. Anyways, moving on to the second segment here, the news, because no one else.
Oh,
What?
no one cares about my week.
Oh, fine.
No one
Okay,
cares,
hold on.
Phil.
Hold on, kids. Before we move on to the second segment, let's try and predict what Phil's going to say about his week. All right? Phil, share with us what you did this week.
What did I do this week? Well, let's see. Saturday.
No, you can't
Yeah.
start with Saturday.
What did I start with? Sunday?
You can't start with yesterday. What about
Well,
the other 5
Is
days?
Monday the first day of the week? What day is the first day of the week? Sunday or Monday?
You're starting
Monday.
with the end of the week. Started Monday, last Monday. What did you do last Monday?
Oh, damn! Last Monday,
Like the 25th.
the 25th. Probably woke up, took a shit, went to work.
No.
Wait, we can say shit now?
No, we can't!
Fuck.
No, you can't. He just says it regardless. And it makes me want to kill myself every time because it makes me have to do so much more work.
But you never follow through.
What do you mean I never follow through? I have to censor your...
You said it says it makes you want to kill yourself, but last I checked, you're still talking.
I'm still...
He's just it's an AI. We're talking to an AI.
Is it a hologram?
Fine. Talk about Saturday. Because as I predicted, the rest of your life, besides what we do, is boring.
Well, Monday through Friday is just work. I mean, do you want me to talk about work?
No.
Exactly.
Maybe Will over here wants to hear about work.
Exactly.
Because Will
Yeah,
over here wants to be an electrical engineer.
I want to hear about work. Let's go for it.
There we go. See?
What? You said
Educate
you
Why
like
not?
here? Oh yeah, so I actually have to go get my electronics degree. Well, I get the opportunity to get my electronics degree. They're gonna pay for me to go back to school.
Nice.
Because we do a lot of component troubleshooting, or I guess the work that we do is heavily revolves around just electronics, and so it's quite useful to have a better foundation than one class that I had at the university.
Yeah.
Wait, do you have to go to the university to
No,
take your
actually,
classes?
so they're gonna have they have like a training center on site that I go to,
Oh,
and that'll be like a big projector with like a Zoom screen to the professors at the university.
Oh, so
Can they see you?
Yeah. Like
Damn it.
apparently they can see me raise my hand and all that. So
I was going to be like, just sit there and just flip them off the entire time.
I don't know if that's allowed.
Well, I mean, if they can see you, of course you can't do it.
I like the hesitation. I don't know if that's allowed.
But see, he was going to do it.
Well, the thing is, like, picture yourself, back in school, right? If you just held up your middle finger, what would a professor think?
Depends on the professor.
Like you just stand up, hold your finger up for minutes on end until he finally notices you.
Depends on the professor. Some might be like, you have a question?
Yeah, right? You have a question?
Others might be like, get out of my class. And others may just ignore you the entire time.
Oh.
And then after class, they're just like, what is wrong with you? And you're like, what's wrong with you?
What's the matter with you?
I'm a perfectly normal college student. You're the weirdo here.
Right. He's a weirdo.
What do you mean?
Because everyone else in class was holding up their middle finger too. So you're in no way were you the odd one out.
You realize how easy it would be to convince all the guys in the class to hold up their middle fingers?
I don't know about all.
You just have to.
Maybe the ones that feel like they have nothing to lose and they don't want to be there.
That's pretty much every guy in college.
I don't know. I feel like some it depends on the class.
I don't know. That's how I got that. That's how I felt in every single college class. Every single guy in there had nothing to prove. They're just like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, all right.
Let's see.
Unless you were my friend from Malaysia. Which in that case, you walked into the class and you were a god and a genius, and everybody just bowed down to you.
Wait, what?
You should have seen him in econometrics. He would just be like, "Oh yeah, I think the solution is this," and everybody's like, "Wow, my God, how the hell does he figure that out? Write that down. Write that down."
Write that down. Write that down.
Write that down. Write that down.
Write that down. Write that down.
And then this girl from China, she'd just be like, I didn't want to say her name, and so I don't. Anyways, she would give it a response, and she's like, "Well, I don't know if it's right, you know." And Jason's like, "Oh crap, okay." And then my friend's like, "Well, yeah, it's right," and explains it. And she's like, "Oh, thank God, thank God." It's just like, wait a minute. You're just as smart as him, if not smart, because she had the thing like completely done most of the time. My friend, he'd had it done 5 minutes before that and had it typed out, but still, she underplayed herself. She was just as smart, if not smarter than him. Underplayed herself.
And
Very
what a story.
sad.
What a story.
Oi, I didn't hear you giving good stories earlier.
I didn't say anything. I just said, what a story. What do you got?
He's impressed.
Why do you gotta assume everything's sarcastic?
Because you're a teenager, everything you say is sarcastic.
Stereotypical.
Oh, okay. Fine. I'll leave the stereotypes out, but heaven forbid if I'm right. Stereotypes exist for a reason, kids. Remember this.
But you shouldn't be using stereotypes.
Listen here, Shuck.
Wait, hold up. Now this is a discussion. Are you saying stereotypes should exist?
What do you mean could exist? They do exist.
Are you saying should?
No.
What?
Are you sure?
Do you think they should
You
exist?
said stereotypes exist for a reason.
Right. Doesn't mean they should. The same way racism exists, but doesn't mean it should.
We're getting on a whole different topic now.
Well, you can blame him. I was about to move it off, but then he was like, "Wait a minute." News segment.
Well, I just want to make sure you're not offending my group.
What group?
You can have a group of one.
The group of one, yeah. Anyways, we'll start with the news here, folks. All right, go live. The news.
Good. I don't want to hear about your week.
Well, there wasn't much to share. We could talk about Saturday, but you know what? No one needs to hear. Anyways, Webb Space Telescope has just imaged another most distant
I want
galaxy.
to hear. What was Saturday?
We're never gonna get to the news.
What was Saturday?
We're never. Give me a minute. I gotta get back.
I don't know that
Oh,
so I can be a nuisance.
okay. Still the first segment. Goddamn. So Saturday, I went to the fair. Nothing special. We ate some walnuts. I ate a chicken leg as well. We had some fried zucchini. Classic fair food.
By we, are not included.
You were not there.
Yeah, you said we.
Oh, Will, did you ever get your girlfriend to try it?
You took a bite.
And
If you didn't like it.
it tastes almost identical to chicken.
Well, I feel like if you didn't know what it was, you would have liked it anyway. So.
All right, fair enough. I mean, there's always the chance you get a hair, that turns people away. Something about nut hair in there. Freaking food.
Nut hair.
Hey, it's not.
Oh, now we know what your fetishes are.
It's not a human nut hair. I'll tell you that much. But
There was a hair in mine.
well, it's about like deer, right? He who eats the most deer eats the most hair. It's about the same concept too. Or what happens if the nuts? Were you there for that?
Yeah.
The nuts. What? Grandpa, what
What
does it
happens-
mean if we're eating orange nuts? Or if the nuts are orange? It means we're going to eat orange nuts. Such infinite wisdom from my grandfather. Such infinite wisdom. Anyways, okay, so after that, I showed up like 20 minutes late to Phil, who was at my apartment, who showed up 10 minutes early because we were going to go to Friend.
No, Alexandria.
The same location area.
It's like a half hour further, but okay.
15 minutes.
Ish.
We're really getting exact here. Let's just continue with the story.
Anyways, well, so we drive out to Alexandria, Friend, middle of nowhere, whatever you want to call it. And to go some stargazing. Good God, it was beautiful. Apart from the light pollution, but this is a crappy Bortle 2. It was stunning. It's still a Bortle 2 yet to boot. And the Galactic Center was it's the best we've ever seen, in my opinion. The stars were brighter in Nevada, but that had to be the best we've ever seen the arm of the Milky Way, period, ever.
Yeah, it was comparable to Mullen. I don't know which was better, but it was definitely Mullen tier.
Maybe, well, next time we go to Mullen, maybe now I'll have this fresh in my mind, and I'll be able to compare.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it won't be as high in the sky, but...
Yeah, because it sets rapidly. This is like the best time of the year to see it, though, because this is about the midway point between when it sets and when it rises.
Mm-hmm.
It rises in like March-ish and sets around November.
Yeah. What was awesome though, I pointed out a bunch of miser objects. Found Andromeda.
What?
Was like the first thing. You know what miser object is?
Oh.
So there's a guy named Miser who found a bunch of objects in the sky and assigned them a number of like what was it, 1 to 105 or something?
110 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. There you go. That's the story.
Meow.
Guy named Miser found a bunch of objects, numbered them M to M1 to M110 or something, and that was it.
What were you gonna say? M to 110.
That's the story.
Nice.
Anyway, so we've I looked at a bunch of miser objects through the binoculars. I still question how you're supposed to be able to see Andromeda with the naked eye. I mean, maybe I can, but at the same time, maybe I'm freaking imagining it. So, solid. It was good. Phil showed me Sagittarius, and I was able to actually properly see it for the first time ever.
Oh yeah, I did point that out to you.
Yeah. Sagittarius was very nice that last Saturday night, so. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Good time. We had a good time.
It's really unfortunate, there's actually people that live out there, and that's just what they're used to.
Well, I mean, if we could get jobs out there, or if, fourth segment. The fourth segment brings us all up. It's a nice round thing here, but we still have.
Is it a full circle?
Possibly.
Is it related?
Possibly, yes, possibly. We just have to get through the second segment. Okay.
We could just skip.
No.
All right.
Because the third segment's
what
going to be
kind of
like
news
5
do you have
seconds
for us?
long. Because the third segment's going to be like 5 seconds long, so, it's
Right.
fine.